Hi everyone, Volta Pontes here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this video, I'm going to share with you how do I set goals. I've been setting goals now for a couple of years, and since I've been setting goals, my life has changed. So I decided to basically put this video here in the YouTube so you can learn how to set goals yourself. This is the same video basically I give to my private clients, so I decided to put here so everyone can learn how to set goals. Also, I'm going to try to release videos like this every week. So if you want to be notified, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also, if you think someone can benefit for this video, you can share and you can share the video. That's it. So I'm going to go to my computer and share my screen and teach you how do I set goals. Bye for now and see you soon. Welcome to our second session, week 1. In this session, we will be covering how to set goals, short-term and long-term. Goal setting subject is a subject that is very dear to my heart, because since I started writing goals, it literally changed my life. And basically what I want the goal setting to change your life as well. So let's go for it. So what we're going to cover in this video: why having goals is so important, the power of setting goals, the formula of success, business goals, long-term and short-term. So basically, in this video, we're going to cover how to write long-term goals and short-term goals for business, and then we will cover how to write personal goals in the next video. So, why having goals is so important? I first came across goal settings with a man called Jim Rohn. So Jim Rohn, he was the mentor of Tony Robbins, Brad Sugars, Les Brown, just to name a few. He was very popular in personal development industry. So Jim Rohn has taught me many important lessons, business lessons and life lessons. So if you have time, check him out on YouTube. He was a wonderful man. I didn't meet him, but when I started my journey, I did listen to, I read all these books, all these tapes. So if you have time, do listen to him or read one of his books. Jim Rohn used to say goal settings is powerful because it provides us focus. It shapes our dreams and it gives us the ability to hone in on the exactly actions we need to perform to achieve everything we desire in life. That is a very powerful quote because, basically our goals will tell us what we need to do in order to reach the outcome we desire. Having dreams is one thing. Having goals and the action to do daily to achieve our goals is a completely different thing. I'm sure no one ever would go to airport and get to an aeroplane without knowing where they want to go. But what happened in life, we're just drifting around because, we don't have a plan of action that takes us from A to B. So the same as an aeroplane, we can apply the same in our lives. So if we go in life without knowing where we are going, we might end up in a place where we don't want to be. So it's very important for us to understand we are not different than an aeroplane, of course, figuratively, because we need direction. Because, if we don't have direction, we might end up in a place where we will ask ourselves, how did I end up here? So and I've been there, and that is the way that most people live their lives. They don't know where they're going. They are just drifting around. Every single of you guys, I want you guys to, we're going to have, goals. We're going to pursue our goals, and we're going to have daily actions to achieve our goals. Because I truly believe that no one can climb to the top by an accident. You do not reach to the top of the mountain by an accident, and you can't let your life be dictated by luck alone. Luck is one of the components for success. I think all of us would agree that. But taking our life just in terms of luck alone will make us successful, I don't think is a good plan. So because let's say you win the lottery, even if you win the lottery by, let's say you were lucky, you won the lottery, now you need, the luck has to come back again for you to succeed. So I rather have something in place that makes success predictable, because don't get me wrong, success and failure are predictable. And we want to do the right things in order to be successful. And goal setting is something that it shapes my life, and I'm sure it will shape yours. And I know you want more in life, otherwise you wouldn't have invested in this course. So goal setting is your roadmap. It is the GPS to your destiny. Your goal will determine where you will be in 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 10 years from now. I myself, personally, I have 30-year goals on my wall, and I've never failed so far writing goals when in 2016, and so far I've been achieving my goals every single year. And and this video is about that. It's about how you can model that and implement in your life. So your goal will tell you what you need to do daily, and I will repeat daily, what kind of actions you need to do in order to get into your destiny. So we're going to have daily action, monthly, yearly, and then long term. All of this will be connected, and basically that is this video. Also, very importantly, what kind of person you need to become to achieve these goals, because we will need to change ourselves in order to achieve our goals and dreams. You will need to change yourself in order to achieve these goals and dreams, because the person you are now might not be the person that needs to achieve your goals. I'm not the same person that I was in 2016. So I've changed, and we all need to change to achieve our goals. The person you are now can't do it, because if you could, you would have achieved your goal a long time ago. In order to achieve your goal, you need to transform, and that can be challenging. So you will have to change something. You will need to become someone you will never be in order to achieve your goal. We all have a better version of ourselves inside of us, and we need that person to come out. The thing is, we don't know how, so we need help. And that's why we invest in courses, and we want to invest in people that are doing what we want to do and model them. You will have to get new habits, new routines, and that can be challenging for most people. And it was very challenging for me. As a human being, we don't like change. And the thing is, things are changing very fast, and we need to adapt. Darwin said the species that don't adapt die. So we need to adapt. And when I say, we will have to change, we are talking about, because if you ask me, what kind of habits and routines I'm talking about planning your day, planning your year, and most importantly, execute your plans daily. Because planning is very important, but if we don't do what we plan, nothing happens. This is a very powerful quote by Einstein. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we create them. Einstein. So, because we need to change, we need to become a better version of ourselves in order to achieve our goals, because the person we are now, that person doesn't know what to do to achieve the goals. So we need to change. We need to become more. In order to achieve our goals, we need to grow and become so big that our goals are very easy to attain. So if you see, every year I'm stretching myself. It's not because I want just more. Is because, the person I need to become in order to achieve these goals. And that is why I want from each of one of you guys, because, I want to see the best version of all of you. This I hear a lot, quite often. Some people might say, why should I write goals, Walter? Or, I just want to take life as it comes. I want to have the experience of unknown. That is very cool. and it's very good. But the reality is, I've never met any successful people that just did what they want to do when they feel like it. It's like if we just go to the gym when we feel like it, the reality is we're never going to the gym because we're never going to feel like it. So successful people, they have goals. They are very disciplined. They do the work regardless if they feel like doing or not. And we need to do that. We need to, sometimes we don't feel like calling the seller, but we need to do that. Sometimes we don't feel like going to the stage, and we need to do that. So we need to do the work, and we need to create some new routines and some new habits. And because I truly believe we don't decide our future, we decide our habits, and our habits decide our future. I truly believe that. And what we want to create, we wanted to create good habits that will make our future brighter and much better. Okay, so now let's cover the power of setting goals. Let me give you an example, because, I first wrote my list of goals in 2016. And, as I mentioned in the first video, my first goal was to get into uni, because university was something that I really believed it would change my life. So that was my first goal. And because I've written this goal, I start to study English. I start to do grammar books. I start to attending classes. I did everything I could because I had that goal. And that was my first goal, and I've achieved. If I wouldn't have written this goal, because before I didn't have any goal. Before that, in 2016, I never wrote any goal in my entire life. And I was just failing in life miserably. I was living day by day, just trying to survive and going to job and barely make ends meet. So since I started writing goals from 2016 to 2019, my life has changed dramatically. And since I become to writing goals and execute the plans, I went from utterly broke, completely broke, to a guy that people call successful. So, and if this can happen to me, I have no doubt it can happen to you too. And that's why I'm sharing basically how do I write goals and how do I execute them, so we can model that section, that part as well to your life. So, if goal setting is so powerful, why most people don't have goals? Or even better question to ask is why most people who write their goals don't achieve them. And the answer is they don't know how to write goals. Most people think writing goals is just decide what you want. Everyone can decide what they want. I can say I want to be the president of the United States of America, but okay, but so just decide is not enough. I can guarantee most people that write goals, they don't achieve their goals, because, decide what you want is just a part of the formula that I will share with you today. But then there's other components, other ingredients of this formula that you need to have to achieve your goal. So let me explain. If your goal are the roadmap or the GPS, the direction you need to take, and then you buy a course, let's say you buy a course, which gives you the step-by-step plan of what you need to do. So now you have a strategy, which is your goals. And the only thing you need to do is to execute that strategy in order to be successful. Am I correct? Not quite. This is the thing. I'm certain sometimes you heard, you go to a 3-day seminar, and after these 3 days, people say, now you have enough knowledge, just go there and take massive action. And if you take massive action, you will be successful. The thing is, even if you buy a course and you have a step-by-step, what you need to do, you need to write goals from your level where you are at the moment. Because that's why I cover in first video. And if you haven't watched the first video, go back to watch the first video. As I mentioned, I've designed this course step by step. And the reason why is you need to write goals that are aligned with yourself. So for example, let's say you are in the entrepreneurial ladder. If you are, let's say if you haven't done any management and you have a very weak foundation, you can do a course, a 3-day course, you have the knowledge, but then let's say you go and you see a vendor, you meet a vendor and you don't know how to sell. So even though you have some knowledge, you can't execute that knowledge. So we need to tailor our goals and dreams to where we are at the moment. And then, because otherwise, for example, if I say I want my English to be the best English in the world, it won't be possible. I just been learning English for 5 years. So it will take me some time for my English to be the best it can be. However, I need to work on my English daily, which I do, and improve. Is the same. So you need to have goals that are tailor-made for you, if you know what I mean. So that's what I wanted to share here, because we go to this course, we spend three days there, and people say just go and take action. And the question is, what kind of action? What kind of action do we go and we take? And so what we should do first, second, third, we all need a step-by-step plan that is designed to our levels, that is designed to match where we are in our entrepreneurial ladder, to match where we are in our foundation. And I don't know if this has happened to you. After the 3-day course, you feel all energized, pumped up, and then you go back home and you feel overwhelmed and you have no idea what to do next. Why? Because no one assesses. No one says like, okay, cool. So this is what you are. This is your strength. This is your weaknesses. This is where we are, and that's where we're going. And that's why I create this course. I create this course so to teach you not just to assess yourself, but also to give you the step-by-step and to design a plan, a business plan. And then in next video, we're going to design a life plan that, you know exactly what you need to do daily, because to be honest, we are all different. And that's what we need to understand. Some people are more family oriented, some people are more goal oriented, some people just want a lifestyle business where they spend more time with their kids, more time with their family. And that is important. Because in the end of the day, I never met anyone who told me, Volta, my goal is to be unhappy. Okay. So we want to design our lives that makes us happy. And that is why I literally designed this course. So we find ourselves. This is not just a course on how to find properties. We are changing our lives. We are molding ourselves, not just for you, for me, for all of us. So we need someone to tell us what to do first, second, third, because information alone is not enough. I do believe that information alone is not enough, because if information alone was enough, we would all be rich and skinny, and we would just go to Google and get all the information we need. But no, we need some guidance, and that's why I believe in mentorship. I believe success leaves clues. So every time I want to learn something, I find someone who's doing it successfully, and I pay and learn from it, because I like that tailor-made, let's say, suit. We all have different shapes and we are different. So it's like, another example, it's like we have a lock that have 4-digit code, and it's the same. It's like, you're doing a cake and I give you all the recipe, and you put the recipe in the wrong time. Guess what? You're not going to have success. So basically you need to know what actions you need to take, and in what order. That is very important. What action in what order, and because you can take a massive action, but the actions you're taking is the wrong action, and you won't get any results, and at least you won't get the results you want. Why? Because, as I said, if you are baking a cake, you need to put the right recipes in the right time, in the right order, and that is the same as success. And people just say, like, I give you information, off you go. No, it's not enough to be successful. So we need a step-by-step plan, and we need a plan that is tailor-made for ourselves. And that is why in this video, we're going to have a plan that is tailor-made for all of us. That's why I said don't jump videos. So each video is, I made a video like one layer after another. So because on Monday when we have a conversation, I just wanted to, all of us have a goal. I will share my goals as well. And yeah, I'm very excited. So now let me share with you what I call the formula to success. This is my success formula that I created, and I've been using that for quite 2-3 years for now, and that been helping me a lot to achieve my goals. So the formula goes like this. First, decide what you want. So if you see, most people just decide what they want, and then that's it. They just decide and they don't do anything. So the formula goes, decide what you want. Then after you decide what you want, you need to do the right thing. So that is where a mentor, a coach, whatever, someone who is doing what we want to do comes into play. So let's say you do a plan and you check that with your mentor. Then third, in the right order, you need to do the things, as I said, the illustration of baking a cake, in the right order. Is the same as open the lock. You need to put in the right code in the right order. So third, in the right order. Then consistently, we can't just do it once. We need to do it often, consistently, until we start seeing some results. Then for the right amount of time. Why for the right amount of time? We don't just want to also keep on doing something that doesn't work and you just keep on doing it. But also we don't want to do too little. So we need to do the amount of time. So we need to give the time, enough time for things to work. Then what we not want to do, we want to collect the data. Our brain is very bad to remember things we've done in the past. So if we collect the data, for example, how many phone calls I'm doing daily, KPI, so we want to collect the data and then we adjust. If we are not seeing the results, we adjust, and now we can go to step 2, back to our mentor and say, look, this is what I've been doing. I'm not seeing the result. What do you think? And we adjust and then we'll repeat. Okay. So this is a formula. If you use, is a very dangerous formula. Okay. So now let's see how this formula works in practice. So let me give an example. I was in London. I wanted to invest in property. Most of you guys know my story, but for those who don't, I was in London. I wanted to invest in property, and I moved. So I've done data. I collect data, which I will share with you. How do you read data? And the data send me to different parts of the country, but one of the parts of the country for the strategy I wanted to do, he sent me to the north of England, Leeds. So when I arrived in Leeds, one of the things I wanted to do, I wanted to check the rental demand. Even though I checked the rental demand with the data, I wanted, before start buying properties, getting 1 or 2 properties just to see if there was a rental demand. So I used that formula as well, to the success formula, to get the results that I wanted. So let's see how it works in practice. Step 1, number 1. I decide what I wanted. I wanted 3 rents to rent within 6 to 12 months. So when you decide, you need to put a time frame, a time that is not too far-fetched, but is not too, it's not too like unrealistic, but is not too optimistic. So 6 to 12 months, 3 rents I knew was achievable because, I knew people that have done, they even got more than that. So step 2. Do the right thing. So what I did a list of the things I thought I should do, and which is a plan of action. And then I called someone who were very successful in rent, and I asked them, look, this is my plan. What do you think? So, and then he gave me his feedback. I changed. Then what I did, if you see step 3, I prioritize my list. So in the right order. After I create the list of what actions to do, I had to get the priority. So what I did, I put every day, because I didn't want to spend any money on marketing, every day I'm going to contact landlords on spare room, for example. And then step number 4, consistently. So every day I had to contact 2 to 3 landlords and talk to them. And what we used to do, I used to just write it down, how do I feel, So I was also collecting data. So if you see, I was listening and I was improving my negotiation, because before I start sending some letters, I used to spend money. That it was complete organic, was free marketing. Then step 4, consistently every day I had to do 2 to 3 things, as I mentioned before. So we were actually in step 5. Sorry, step 5, for the right amount of time. So we want to do the things for the right amount of time. So I didn't want to give up too soon, but I didn't want to carry on doing something that doesn't work. So then step 6, as I mentioned, I used to collect data. I used to write and see, okay, I said that to this landlord. He said that. Okay, so next time I will try to say that and see how it works. So you want to collect data. And that is why I will ask you guys to have everyone to buy a notebook where we collect the data. And then guess what? Adjust. After 6 months, if I wouldn't have got any property, for example, I would have adjust my approach. I would take the data collected. I would go to, let's say, my mentor and say, listen, I've done that. It's been 6 months. I haven't got any property. What do you think? Do you think I'm doing something wrong? And guess what? And then step number 8, I would repeat. After I've adjusted, I would go back to step 2, which is doing the right thing, and I will start all over again. But after I adjusted. This is a very powerful formula, and if you use that, I can guarantee you will see some success as well. So by using this formula, as I said, it will be very difficult not to succeed. So now that we have our formula of success, let's write our goals. So finally, we're going to take some action and start writing goals. So I will share with you how we will start from long term, then we go to short term, then we go to so let's do it, and I will explain on the way. So but before we do that, I will cover that very intensively in the next video. But before we write the goals, I just put that now here. This slide is a complete new slide, and the reason why I put this slide here is because before you write your business goals, I want you to know a bit about yourself, because I want you to write your business goal that is congruent with who you are. So I want you to go and do a test, or you do the test now, or you do the test in the end. I put this as a homework for you to do the test, and then I want you to post on Facebook what personality type you are. So basically the way your brain is wired. I am INTJ. They call the mastermind or the architect. So my brain works. So I'm more goal-oriented type of person. I'm not really family-oriented. I like to put things together. So I'm very good in strategizing, putting plans together. So yeah, so go and do your test and find out the way your brain is wired. This is not a woo-woo stuff. This is more than 500 years of study. Carl Jung was the one who basically started in Greece like 500 years ago, a long time ago. Then Carl Jung took it, and then he died, and then other people took it and developed, and we have what they call Myers-Briggs test, the MBTI, something like that, and so it's a very important. A lot of companies uses that. Apple, Google, Amazon, big companies, they use to recruit. I do use as well to recruit, and not just that, just to know ourselves a bit better, which is I'm going to cover when we write goals for ourselves. How to write goals that are congruent with the person you are. So because as I said, what we wanted to do. We wanted to design our lives that we are happy with. The worst thing we want it can happen in life is you thrive for something that is not suitable for you. That is the worst thing it can happen, to be honest. So let's now start writing our goals. So when we write a goal, I like to do what Charlie Munger calls invert. So what do I mean by that? We will start from the future and then we come to the present. No? Okay, so that is basically, we will decide what we want, we start from the future and we come to the present. Remember, this is just business. I will cover how to write personal goals in the next video. So long-term business goals. Okay, most people don't know where they are going. That is the reality. Okay, and if you go into the future and you think where you want to be, let's say 5 years from now, 2 years from now, even 3 years from now, okay, you will be in a better position than most people in the world, because most people, they don't have any goals written down, and most people don't know where they are going. Most people, literally, when you ask them, do you know where you're going? Yeah. Do you have any goals written down? Oh yeah, I know, is in my head. No. So as soon as you do that, so what we're going to do now, long term, I will give an example, 5 years, but you can do 2. All of us have to do the exercise. So we go 5 years, we decide what we want, and we write it down. The next, we walk backwards. So we go to future, to the present, and then what we do, that will help us to decide what kind of activities we need to do, to take and do to achieve the ultimate destination. So because we know what we want, we decide in terms of our business, we want our business to be, that big, whatever it is. We decide that, and then we walk backwards. So how that looks like. So in this example, let's say we would like to have a rent business that will generate 300 to 500K within 5 years from now. So remember, this is just an example. When you write your goals, you create your own example. This is a business. So we start with a business and then we go to our personal, and then we amalgamate them, because, business and personal has to be amalgamated because we spend a lot of time at work as well. So, okay. So this is how it will look like. So we decided that 5 years from now, we wanted to have a business that generates 300 to 500,000 turnover. Yeah. So then we start moving down. So we went to the future 5 years from now. Now we're coming down. So in 2023, let's say we want to reach 200 a year and start working on your business rather than in your business. So when we mention the entrepreneurial ladder, so basically you here wants to start creating, for example, systems, and put systems in place, or maybe hiring people so you don't need to do the work. And then we go down again. In 2022, you have replaced your income and you are working full time. For example, here you are already working full time. Then we go down again. In 2021, you are working part-time on your business. And then you go down again. In 2020, you would like to learn as much as you can and have at least one rent. Okay, so that's what we do. So we go up, we decide what we want, and then we come down. If you have any difficulty on doing that, because I some people would have the difficulty, I don't know, it just comes very natural to me. But if you have any difficulty, we will cover that in one of our Monday calls, and I can do that for you. So now, very important one. Now we have our 5-year goals written down. We know we want to have a business that generate 300 to 500,000 a year. So the next step now, which is a very important step, I've learned this step with Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio has created one of the biggest hedge funds in the world. And he's the author of the book called Principle, a great book. I didn't put in your list yet because, so it depends on where you are. But it's such a great book. I highly recommend it. So Ray Dalio said, whenever you think that a goal will take you a year, put an extra year. This extra year is for things that can go wrong. So we only create an accurate prediction for things that we've done before. Anything new, you will be very difficult to evaluate accurately because we've never done it before. Okay, so let me expand here. So anything that is new, okay, so we've never done, first of all, everything we do new is just, we do kind of clunky. We're not like, so if we never negotiate, in the beginning is quite difficult, but the more we do, the better we become. So what he does, he gives an extra year, and he gives an extra year normally in the beginning, because in the beginning, for example, I give that example all the time. Let's say if an aeroplane is taking off, he will use half of his tank. Okay, so he use half of his tank just to take off. So in the beginning, if we give an extra year, guess what? Will stop us to give up, because that's why I said in the first video, we tend to give up too soon. The reason why most courses don't work is because we give up too soon. And human beings are very bad in predicting how long something will take to happen. Psychologists call this the fallacy bias. They've done a lot of tests and with students for university, and they ask them, how long do you think you will write your essay? And people are like, I will write my essay in 2 days. And guess what? It took them like 2-3 weeks, because that is our brain. We are very bad predicting how long it takes. And remember also, when we see someone being successful, we don't even see, as I said in the first video, where they are in the entrepreneurial ladder. We don't see like 10 years of business acumen. We don't see, 10 years they've been working the bank, whatever it is. So that's why we put 1 year extra. So it's something that I've learned with Ray Dalio, because if we know that we are very bad at predicting how long things will take to actually happen, we will plan in advance for that, so we don't give up on the way. Yeah. So this is another good example. Can you remember time that you thought a project would take 6 months and then it took you a year? I'm sure all of us that happened to us, So we thought something it will take 3 months, and it took longer. So what we want to predict, we want to expect that. Warren Buffett calls have margin of safety, so we don't give up. Because because we were already preparing ourselves. By giving a year extra, we are planning ahead for any unexpected events. If you achieve our goal sooner, that is a bonus. But if it takes you an extra year, you will still feel happy because you have left a margin of error. And most importantly, you didn't give up. Because this is the thing. If we expect things to happen sooner, okay, and it doesn't happen because we don't have all the things in place, guess what? We just give up. We start beating ourselves down. And we are very good at this, we are very good at, we are not good, look at this, look at that, look how successful that person is, and look at me, poor me. No, that person, we don't know the background. We don't know. So that's why we have that buffer to give us, because, as I said, in the beginning, things takes time, but that also when you take off the ground, guess what? You get the momentum. You get what we call compound, and then you start working in our advantage. So it's like the same as physics. I read a lot of physics as well. The gravity pull us down. So we need to, in the beginning, it's the same as the aeroplane. I'm repeating, I know I'm repeating myself, but it's the same as the aeroplane. It uses half of his tank just to take off. So that is what we're giving extra year, we don't expect success overnight, but then when we take off we go. No one can stop us now. That is the thing. So most people give up in their goals because of inaccurate time scale. That is so important. I have to repeat that. Most people give up on their goals because of inaccurate time scale. How can you be accurate in this time scale? How can you predict the time scale if you never done before? Okay, it's very important. Also, how can anyone predict the time scale if they don't evaluate yourself? They don't know where you are at the moment. They think because it didn't happen yet, it won't happen. Okay, so I don't want that to be one of you. So what I want you to evaluate yourself. I will evaluate yourself, and then we're going to have a plan, and a plan that is suited for ourselves, and that is why we put our extra year. I've learned that with Ray Dalio. It's just an amazing exercise. So where do we put that extra year? So we're going to put this extra year in the beginning, because as I mentioned, when we take off is where when we take off is where, it takes time. It takes time for things to get the compound together, get rolling. So, and that's where we add. So basically we add an extra year in the beginning. So we put like 2020. You would like to learn as much as you can and have acquired at least one property in rent. So then you put that in 2020, 2021. You put also in these 2 years. So basically, if you achieve that, if you get the property sooner, great. However, we are just predicting if in case something happens that we haven't expected, so we don't give up. Okay, great. So now this is basically our 5-year goals with the example I gave. So now what we're going to do, we're going to take these 5-year goals and write our short-term goals. And then basically in the end, everything is going to be connected. So now let's write our business short-term goals. So now that we have our long-term goals written down, we will focus on our short-term goals. Basically, that is what you need to do daily in order to achieve your, long-term goals. So, and how do we do that? We take, if you see, we will take these 3 or these 2 or these 3 years first. And then now what we're going to do, we're going to do a step-by-step on the activities we need to do daily. So how do we do that? So we take these 2 or 3 years and now we will divide our goals into monthly activities. So how do we do that? So for example, let's say in 2020, you would like to learn as much as you can and have acquired at least one property in rent. Yeah. So what we do, we come here and we write, for example, January, go through the content of rent, for example. And then because we know, as we mentioned, we need to give an extra month, a buffer, we write that in February as well. And then in March, we go through a step-by-step. So for example, we go all the steps for compliance and we set up for example, our website. In May, we decide where to invest. We go through the data. I'm covering this course, how to read data. We decide where to invest. And basically, because we've written the goals will dictate where we invest, basically. And then July, let's say we do organic marketing. So we contact landlords on Spare Room and Gumtree. So we practice our script, which I will provide. And also, we don't spend any money on marketing because, we haven't got any income coming in. So in July, we do a list of all the estate agents, letting agents, and in the area, and you contact them. Hi, my name is whatever. I'm a new investor. I'm looking for So we have a script for that as well. Let's say in August, you send some letters because now let's say in August, it's been more than 8 months. You already have some maybe properties on the round. So I think you got the gist. So basically you will write now, you will take the yearly goal and you divide them in monthly tasks. So, and what we do every year, we'll take 2 years to plan our long-term goal. So our yearly goal. So we'll take that one. We take in the end of 2019, we take 2 weeks and we just plan January, February, we come here. We just plan January, February, March. So we just design. If you struggle to do that, let me know. We go through with you. Then now we took 2 years. And now what we need to do, what is next is now that we know what we need to do monthly, we need to start planning what we need to do daily. Okay. So if you see, we are going backwards. So we go to our monthly goals and we decide 2 or 3 activities that we need to do every day. So for example, let's say in January, as you can see in January, going through the content. So what we do in our example, so you will put in your diary So because you will do that daily, you prepare your day beforehand every day. So what you do, you're going to put like, I'm going to watch, let's say 1 or 2 or 3 videos, whatever it is, every day. So because, that's the way in January. And if you take the time to do that every day, to watch 1 or 2 videos, okay, a day, guess what? When January ends, well, you've done it. Or let's say something happens, your kid I'm not saying that, but something happened, went on holiday, whatever. Guess what? You have a monthly buffer. Do you remember the monthly buffer? So you don't give up. Okay. So you will put in our daily goals, 2 or 3 videos, to watch daily. And in how many videos you can do, it will depend. Some people work full time, some people work, part time. So it depends. So you need to write your goals congruent with, it have to be achievable. It can't be, I see some people like, I wanted to have a Ferrari tomorrow. Okay, come on. This is like a step-by-step process and a realistic process as well. So as I mentioned, you should do your list the day before. And the last step also, any goal that you plan the day before and you didn't finish should carry on to the next day. So for example, let's say today's, I don't even know which day is today. Let's say today's Monday, and you didn't finish your goal today. What you do, so let's say you have to finish 2 videos or 1 video. What you do, you carry on that to the next day. So if you haven't finished, and you plan that and you carry on. So now if you see, okay, so you have, just let's to recap, because this is very exciting, guys. So to recap, so first you plan our long-term goals, 5-year goals. The people that don't like to plan that 5 years, just plan 2, okay? Don't worry, even 1, but have something written. So we need to have a plan, and we need to have a plan of action so we know what we have to do. Then we plan our year by year. So we go 5 years and we plan. After that, year 4, we want to be here. Year 3, we want to be there. Year 2, we want to be there. Year 1, we want to be there. Okay. So year by year. Then we want to plan our first year goal. So we have our first year, and what we do, we add a buffer there. So to our first year, and then what we do, we take that year, okay, or we take 2 of the years, and we plan monthly tasks that we need to hit every single month, and then take that monthly, and we plan also our daily tasks. And remember, anything that we haven't finished, it will carry on to the next day until it gets it done. Okay. So, and now what we do, let's see what we have now. So now we invert again from the present now to the future. And what we're going to have is a daily goal, okay, tasks that we need to do daily. Then we will have a monthly goal, monthly milestones we need to achieve every month. And guess what? If we don't reach that, we will see we are late. Basically it will tell us that we are a bit late. So it will tell us we need to work a bit harder to catch up. So then, what we will have is a yearly goal. Remember, we will take 2 weeks or 1 week and plan our year ahead. And then also we're going to have year by year goals. And then we're going to have our 5-year goals or 2-year goals, whatever you decide to do. If you see now that we invert, is like daily, almost weekly, then monthly, yearly, and also, of course, we hear these 2. Basically, as soon as we write, we don't work really on them. But what we do, we see them quite often just to remind us where we are going. Now we are kind of a pilot that knows their destination. Okay, very important now. Pay very, very, very attention here. We can have the best plan in the world, but if we don't execute the plan, nothing will happen. We will write goals and we will know exactly what we need to do, but we need to execute. So we look procrastination straight in the eyes and execute our plan every day. No procrastination. We just execute what we need to do and we make it happen. I'm very, very excited to see you guys' transformation. This is something that I put together, how to write goals. Most people don't know how to do that, and I would like to share with you guys, because this is our first task, and I want everyone to write goals so we know exactly what we want and we go after it. So we have a homework in the in this video. I want you to do your personality test and just put on Facebook so I know what personality type you are. Also, it's very good for you to know about yourself, to know about the way you're wired. Some people like traveling, some people like nature. So it's just, it's good to know. I want you to buy a diary, calendar, so you write, daily what we need to do. You can buy it in Amazon. I want you to write your long term. As I said, we start from long term and then we come down. Then, I want you to write your monthly goal, and then, we're going to have a daily schedule that we do every single day. Guys, this is it. Please let me know if you struggle with that, and I will help you. I'm here to help you, to serve you, and to hear for your success. I am very excited to see your guys' transformation, just as I said in this video, just to bring the best version of yourself. Okay, let's do this. This is it. My name is Volta, and thank you for watching and listening to me, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. God bless, and see you soon, my friend. Bye bye for now.